The Culture Currency show is for those who recognize that nuance is key. We don't pretend to have all the answers, but we tackle the issues that affect the majority when speaking of Black America. Our discussions are informed by the host's personal experiences and insights, and we're always open to evolving our perspective as we gain new understanding.
This is the story of two friends from the Bronx who decided to get real, be direct, and impact Black culture. Welcome to Culture Currency, where culture is the value. I'm Mahagony.
I'm Aisha.
And this is Culture Currency,
Where culture
is the value.
Yes.
We have a guest today, Hocus, 4/5.
What up, what up?
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Many of you may be familiar with one of his calls to action,
Yes.
which is drop your flag,
Yes.
right? Which he really promotes on his social media pages. So we thought it was fitting and very important for us to fly out and come speak to him about it. You know, with Culture Currency, everything is about the health of Black culture and what part of our culture is bigger than gang culture. So really important that we come and have this productive conversation with you. Thank you for being here. After being part of the culture for so long, right? What was the catalyst that made you kick this off and say, you know what? I want to start this Drop Your Flag Challenge. What happened?
I've been doing this work for years. In 2012, I was acquitted from a gang conspiracy. You know, I was locked up on Rikers Island for 4 years, went to trial, and I was acquitted. As soon as I came home, I used to talk to kids in group homes. I used to go to schools and talk to kids and just do this work, period. But it wasn't until recently, which is this year, you know, even while I'm doing this work, the feds still somehow found a way to indict me and put me into a case with other people that I don't even know.
Oh, wow.
That's it, out in Savannah, Georgia. I've never been there in my life until I had to go to court, right? And just seeing the emergence of all of these indictments that they doing, all these conspiracies, we see it with everybody. It's not just happening in hip-hop. It's happening in our communities. Like, when I was coming up, I didn't see, we from the same hood. Did we see indictments like the way they doing now? They indict.
Absolutely not.
I'm talking about the conspiracy, the secret indictments, the one, it's crazy. So when it happened to me this time, I'm like, wow. I just sat back and like, what can I do? I'm a critical thinker. You know, I got a platform called A Rabbit Hole where we like to go down the rabbit hole and talk about all topics, but we critical thinkers. So I'm always looking for a solution. And I put it in God's hand and just slept on it and woke up like, you know what? And I got the answer. You know, like, you got to walk away from the gang and lead your people out. It's more of a purpose than it is just like me just doing it. Right. And it was hard to do. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't easy to do.
Right. I'm sure. So one of you know, my favorite mottos is fix what you break, right? And hearing you say, you know, I got to drop the flag and I got to lead my people, that takes me to that thought process. Is that where you stand? I have to fix what I break.
Most definitely, man. I caused a lot of, destruction in my neighborhood. I sold a lot of drugs. I committed violence, and I definitely want to give back and show them a different way. Like, they don't got, because sitting in that cell is when people be like, oh, you only changed because you went to jail. No, but that's good because sitting in that cell will really have you reflect on your life because you lose everything. They reduce you down to, because if you in the cell, if you on Rikers Island and the crackhead is on Rikers Island, y'all both have the same resources. Y'all both can only use that phone for 15 minutes. Y'all both can only eat from that mess hall or commissary if you get it. Like, you reduced. So sitting there makes you reflect on your life. You lose everything. Lost my girl, lost my car, lost the money I had, lost my freedom, couldn't see my kids. It's real stressful. So I definitely want to lead them down a better path. A lot of people became sex, money, murder because of me. A lot. Because I was repping the culture and influenced a lot of people. So I'm just trying to show them, well, I did that and I'm doing this now, so let's do it this way.
Yeah, SMM is definitely a big Bronx set. Well, New York set, but I know I'm from the Bronx, so definitely familiar with that. But when people say, oh, only because, but it's always a reason why you make a change. So it doesn't matter what that change is, as long as you went ahead and made that change. Right. So that's really good. And sometimes you have to lose in order to see the light. Right. We learn through loss and lack of and all of that kind of things. That's how we, that's how we get our lives together by,
right.
by suffering.
I just want to ask anybody, if you was on a plane and the plane crashed and you decide to never take airplanes again, right, is anybody gonna be like, the only reason why you don't want to take airplanes because the plane crashed?
Right.
Like I don't understand people.
Like, hello, exactly.
Right.
So my question to you is this though, because so many people feel like they need the gangs, or the perceived need for one thing is either protection in prison, because a lot of people, become part of the, gang in prison for protection, or needing community protection, right? And wanting to be part of something and feel like, okay, I'm good now because these are my brothers, these are my sisters, right? And we're gonna rock together. Now, so what is the alternative to that?
Well, let me say this, right? As far as New York City goes, blood in New York City started in jail because they were being oppressed by the Spanish gang, the Latin Kings. So it was to override any oppression, really, but specifically that, right? So it was never, the oath that we took, it was never to come home and start committing crimes and be destructive in our neighborhood. That's just something we did. I don't know what happened. It just went, like a wildfire through the neighborhood. So we was already in violation. We started oppressing each other and our own people. We was already in violation of the oath. So when you mention, for jail, a lot of people bring that up. I think that gangs are very relevant in jail. They should be in jail because there's limited resources. And if you don't group up and come together, these people go, the Aryan Nation is, these people, the Spanish people is, and they, somebody's going to come and try to oppress and take over all the resources. Right. I want to make that clear. It should have stayed in jail. When it started there, it should have stayed there. It should have never came to the streets, because we supposed to come home to the streets and become productive in society. That's what we were supposed to do. Now, as far as gangs being in the streets, I get it. Some people feel like they need protection. My whole thing is this, though. I understand, but I want to get back to more tribal. I want to get us back to being more community orientated. I want us to get back to more mother and father in the household with the child. I want to get back to more of that, because what we doing right now is just totally reckless and we just killing each other. And I get it. I get it. People's like, yo, but what's the alternative? What's the alternative to that? I think we just need to get back to being tribal. I mean, you don't have to represent the gang in order to be a community, right?
Absolutely.
People are like, well, where you gonna leave this? All right, it's a 13-year-old kid in Queens. He got, this is recently, I don't know if y'all heard about it, and how ironic, it was right after I did the Drop My Flag challenge. He got killed, and he was repping sex, money, murder. This kid is 13. First of all, according to the rules of sex, money, murder, he's too young. You can't even be that young and claim the gang. But they see what they see on social media, TV. He's claiming the gang. He was disrespecting another gang, and the kid who was 16 years old killed him, right? He shot him in the head, and the kid is gone. Now, this kid was a good kid. This is not Brazil. I understand why they doing what they doing in Brazil. You know what I'm saying? This kid had it. What's the alternative? Go home to your mother, who will go home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, after school program.
Oh, after school programs, and we could get into all that too. But I'm just being more strict about it, because to me those can be used as excuses for people. Well, ain't nothing left. What we gonna give them? Wait, what you mean? The reason why I started, one of the reasons, because I didn't say this when you asked me, was it's us against the RICO, right? We see how they keep snatching us up in these RICO. So it's like it started in jail, right? We come home from jail. We representing the gang, and everybody's going back to jail. Well, what is this? Right. What is this? Like, under the 13th Amendment, we know that slavery still exists. Right. So, it's like we supposed to be rebels against slavery, against the oppression. We putting ourselves right back in slavery. Right back in slavery. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, when you know better, you do better. So, yeah, I represented the gang for all these years and never really took the initiative to say, like, yo, we all need to drop our flags. It was kind of just like, I'm inactive, I'm not gangbanging, and I'm minding my business. No, man, in order for a revolutionary change to happen, somebody got to do something revolutionary.
Absolutely.
So somebody on your page was saying it's not really about dropping the gang, it's about changing the focus of the gang, right? So when the young boys come into prison, he's giving them books and letting them know the programs that they could get involved in. So how do you feel about that? Not necessarily dropping your flag, but for folks to focus on getting the gangs back to what the purpose was.
So this is my thing with that. So as far as these gangs in the name of them, Blood, Crip, Sex, Money, Murder, whatever, Rolling 60s, whatever, Mac Baller, these gangs are considered criminal organizations according to the FBI and the government. So no matter how we try to dress it up, they say this: it's not illegal to be in the gang. This is what they tell us, which is true lawfully. But they have convictions. They have been successful in convicting these gangs that we represent as criminal organizations. I know that they not. We know that they really not. They're not organized in the street how they try to put us, but they have been successful. So I understand people be like, nah, but we can still turn the gang positive. But bro, you representing something that is a criminal organization in these people's eyes. It's a criminal organization.
I'm happy you answered it that way, because I was thinking that. Repurposing is a thing, but when something already is fully stained,
Yes.
It's best to knock it down and create something new. Right. So I'm happy that that's your standpoint.
Right.
What I was thinking while I was listening to you speak is the separation between black culture and street culture. I would like for you to give us a little insight on that, because you speaking about us getting back pretty much to black culture, get our families back together, get in the house, get tribal, right? And although a lot of us engage in street activity, that's not necessarily black culture, or is it?
Excellent question.
That's a good ass question right there. It's not black culture, but it kind of have become the culture, and it need to be demolished. We need to stop that. I mean, the streets is wicked, and the streets is no good. In the streets, like this is relevant in the streets, right? In the streets, me and you could be homies, right? And I could rob you, I could shoot you, right? But that's between me and you, and the streets is like, that's a street beef going on. So it's like, you're not really ostracized for that. But I'm in violation. You my homie, I robbed you. I could sleep with your spouse, right? And I'm in violation to you, but not really to the streets. However, if I snitch on you, which all of it is it's stupid. That's why you laugh, because it's kind of like, it's stupid. The street culture is not our culture. I don't know who implemented these rules, put them out there. We need to drop it and leave it alone. It is not black culture, man. Black culture is love. Black culture is taking care of the family. We got to take care of our family. If you are in jail during the pandemic, you know how much women was hitting me up because they were scared? They didn't have either they boyfriend or husband or baby father was even not with them or not there. There's a lot of women that don't have men in the household, and they got kids. And we see, I know we're gonna get into what I do with the roll call, but we see what I have to do. Like, yo, a man need to be there. If you're in jail, then you're not there to protect your family.
Right.
And if you're getting indicted because of these gangs, you ain't there to protect your family. So no, it ain't our culture, man. The street culture ain't our culture.
Right. That's a great question and answer. It's obvious that you have to do some work internally in order to make this shift, right? So what do you think needs to be supplemented or developed internally, and even consider dropping something that's meant so much to you?
Good question. I think that we need to realize who we are. I don't know everybody, belief or religion, but I'm gonna just speak on how I feel, right? Without getting all spiritual with it. I just
Yeah, we cool with that.
But I think we need to find out who we are. We lost in the source. We gotta read some books. We gotta go do some research. We need to remember our history, because we are all gods, and this we all come from the Creator. We all emanate from the same source, which is God. And even in the Bible, I'm not a Christian, but even Jesus said, "Yea, not know, yea, gods. I am in you, you are in me. I'm in my Father is in me." We all have the creative ability to create our own realities. You know what I'm saying? And once I realized that, like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me I don't have to sell drugs to get money? You mean to tell me I don't have to even, go to work to get money? I can use the power of my mind, come up with an idea, implement them thoughts, and pay attention to all the synchronicities and the omens around me, and then once them circumstances come, I react on them. You mean to tell me that I got that power? That is the power of the creator. That's how you create your reality. So but with the lack of information, then they just don't know. They think that they're a gang member. They think I got to come out here and do this because it gets the attention. So I just think that we need it. We definitely need some mentorship. People like me and others to go out there and start talking to them like this. They definitely need that. They definitely need some discipline. We need some boot camp programs in the hood. I think that is, yeah, because they got you have to work out. Like you got to get back to we got to get back to exercising. We got to get back to moving.
Excellence. Period.
Excellence. Period. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
I love that.
You just gave me some ideas. So
First off, I want to commend you because I'm listening to you speak and I'm like, all right, we got some alignment here, and I like it, right? What would you say to the young people who are in gang activity or affiliated and feel like, well, he could drop his flag now. He's older. You know what I mean? A lot of young people believe that you age out of things, right? So they don't think that it's a choice when you get old. It's just like you aged out. That's why he's saying that, is because, he an old head.
he did it already.
You know what I mean? What do you say to those young people to get them to make a change now?
Well, this same mentality I got now, I had when I beat that trial. I was 25 when I went in. I was on Rikers Island 4 years, so I was 29 when I came home. But while I was on the island, in my 20s, I had the same mentality. So they could say that, but I had the same mentality in my 20s. I understand not everybody's gonna walk away from the gang, and you know what? Maybe everybody don't need to, right? But at the end of the day, there's some people in the gang that need to leave, that need to get kicked out. I don't want to say it that way, but we already know that everybody's not built for this. There's some people that want to leave, and they should be allowed to leave. They shouldn't be afraid because they're coming to me. Like, I don't know how my big homie gonna feel, so I gotta walk them through it, which is okay. But I think that maybe there should be some announcement made by the big homies. Like, yo, look, if y'all want to leave, Hocus got this form up. Hit that form up. Y'all can leave with no, like nothing's gonna happen to y'all. You know what I'm saying? No repercussions, nothing. And for those that want to stay, help us build this new world. Help us build this new society. Help us build this new community that's not based around criminality. That has to change.
Yeah, when it comes down to repercussions and consequences for stepping away, right? If this is something that's supposed to be originally community driven, right? Why would there be consequences to you making a different choice?
Yeah, I got that same question. Because that's crazy. I got that same exact question. So it shouldn't be like that. If this is about community, if the gang is supposed to be about community, and somebody want to step away, why should they be ostracized? Why shouldn't they be celebrated still and supported still? You ain't banging no more. Just go do what you gotta do, work and all that. We still gonna support you. You still one of us. We still love you. Why I gotta be? Because people is hitting me up. Hey yo, so you gonna get somebody killed? You gonna wait? What? What are y'all talking about? Most people and most of the big homies that I talk to, matter of fact, let me say, all of them have said, yo, you got my blessings. Anybody want to leave the gang? We ain't doing nothing. Nobody that want to leave the gang, but I don't know. They watch too much television or something. I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm not saying that because last year I had to save a kid life. One of the bros that's from our projects. His cousin lived in North Carolina. The little dudes, they didn't know no better. He was 15 years old. The dudes around his age, he joined the gang. It was non-trade. He wanted to leave. So my man hit me up like, yo, I know you know the homies, whatever. So I made a few phone calls, got in touch with the big homie in North Carolina. He was like, what? Hell no. First of all, they ain't even supposed to be bringing the books is closed. Nobody supposed to be coming. And then we don't even move like that. We rectified the situation. The little dude got to leave the gang. He's flourishing right now. He's in school. But that's why I will say that these young dudes don't know no better. They need some guidance. They need to be talked to. You know, because they some of them do think like that. But that's not the rule that something's going to happen to you if you want to walk away. It's your life, bro. Do what's best for you and your life.
So what are the practical steps for someone who actually wants to leave? Like, what are the practical steps?
A good question. Right now, this day and age, hit me up. Honestly, this honestly, I have a form inside of it's a Google form. All information is private. You don't got to put your real name, but put an email so I can reach back out to you if you feel like you don't know how to go about it, because some people need that help. I got you. I would guide you through it. I've been doing it already. You know what I mean? I've been guiding them, and I got a 100% success rate. 100%. That none of, yeah, everybody who hit me up and I talk to their big homie, or if I just coach them what to say to their big homie, yo, thank you, man. And it's such a relief for them. It was such a relief for me. It was like a big weight off my shoulders. Even though I wasn't active, it just felt good to let go. It felt so good to let go. But if, just for anybody that's just watching this right now, how would you go about it? Do it respectfully. Holla at your big homie. Just let them know how you feel. Have a real talk with them, man to man, just you and them, not all the homies, or maybe one or two. You maybe have two big homies, but not the whole crowd, because now it's kind of like pressure, and they looking at the big homie. What you gonna do? You want to leave? What if we all want to leave? Have that one-on-one conversation and just tell them how you feel. Like, I don't want to be a part of this. And I think that most people would allow them to go, because nobody wants somebody in the gang that don't want to be a part of it. That person is likely to tell once the shit go down.
You said have a conversation man to man. What about the young ladies that are also involved?
Man, I think it's easier for the young ladies to leave. You know what I'm saying? I think them having a conversation, especially with a man, and I think a man is like, you good, man. Like, I think it's much, much easier. I haven't had to help any ladies so far walk out, but I'll give the same advice. Have that conversation with your big homie. If you a woman that don't have a brother in your life or a father in your life, just have that conversation with your big homie. But if you do and you don't feel safe, take your brother or your father or cousin with you and have a conversation. Let a man speak to a man.
Love it.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes down to your roll call, right? You have
roll call. Yeah.
You have your drop your flag and you have roll call, and to me, to some degree, they both go hand in hand, because both of them are about restructuring how people are moving,
bringing the community back together,
right?
Yes.
Tell us a little about your roll call. What made you start, and how it's going?
Yeah, and the core purpose of it.
Yeah. So the core purpose of the roll call is I want to encourage the community to protect the community. Like, get back to that. So what I can't remember the first roll call I ever did. It was probably in 2020 sometime, but it wasn't really branded how it is now. It was like I was just watching on the internet and I seen something. I think it was a little kid got robbed by a grown man, like snatched the chain off his neck. It was one of those. I can't remember exactly which one, but I looked at it. I said, "Yo, how does this happen? Where's the community?" So I just, I got a song called Roll Call. It's a real popular song in New York that's still playing in the clubs to today. And roll call, and it's crazy because that's something that comes from blood. Like, 30, roll call. That comes from blood. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That is some gangbanging shit. But I repurposed it, like you said, and flipped it. And I seen that. I was like, let me do a roll call to this. I put a roll call song out, but let me do this. And I said, roll call, Ayo Streets. And that's why I say Ayo Streets, like, to get their attention. Like, streets, y'all supposed to make sure this don't happen. That's why I say Ayo Streets every time. And then the streets respond, and I ain't gonna lie. Some people done got spanked behind that, because it be, the roll call is really about, the community, protecting the community. But there's a lot of sexual predators out there that's violating. There's a lot of people that harms, women and children and the elderly and the most vulnerable. That's what we want to protect. That's who outside of course, us killing each other. This is just a different focus on protecting the community.
I love that because now that goes back to what you were saying, that maybe some people shouldn't leave the gang but still do what you're supposed to do in it. So in that, if you got the heart and you want to, if you have the heart for that, use it to protect the community, not to hurt each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And really, that became your path, though. Like you went through this way, you became a gang.
Found purpose.
When you found the purpose and repurposing it and trying to get our black men back focused. That's what they supposed to be doing.
I love that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I love that. First off, I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
word. Coming from Castle Hill, I know what we dealt with, what we seen, what some of us may have been involved in, and I didn't know you in close quarters because I was doing my own thing, you was doing your own thing, but I know you, right? So I know, even in regard to your tribe, there's different personalities. You definitely always had this in you. Even before you knew you had this in you. So I want to say I'm proud of you for getting there.
Thank you.
What is it that you would like for our audience to know about what it is that you're doing, and how can people, support you in that?
Yeah, how y'all can support me is just by sharing the information that I'm putting out. I got a lot going on. That some things I could announce, some things I can't. But y'all gonna see a lot more of me on your television screens, on social media. I ain't going nowhere. Make sure y'all share the message. Every time I post something, share it. Encourage the youth and even the parents. Y'all can also hit me up on the Google form. Also, y'all can hit me up and I'll give y'all a call. Like we talked about, I'm doing the roll calls. I'm covering the community, protect the community. I'm doing the Drop My Flag Challenge, which I just incorporated my my nonprofit, which is Hocus 4/5 Rabbit Hole Incorporated.
Congratulations.
So thank you so much. The Rabbit Hole was a community I started during the pandemic when we was all locked down, and when that happened, I was just like, wow. And I went live on Instagram, and I just had like 1,000 people in there. I'm like, if these people stay up with me every night, then I know this is serious. So the first night I did it at midnight. I got like 1,000 people. And I just every night for 5 years straight. Every day, nobody's more consistent than me when it comes to the rabbit hole. Every day, I got shadow banned on Clubhouse because we was talking about all the conspiracy topics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm exposing Bill Gates. I ain't gonna do that to y'all platform, but I don't want to get y'all shadow.
To get us shadow.
Nah.
It already
But
happened.
then we went to Clubhouse. It instantly became one of the biggest platforms over there because I brought my following there, and then I met more people, and the people that I met on Clubhouse is my team now, and some of the people I work with, and some of my best friends. So we've been doing this work. Like when a hurricane happened in North Carolina, in Asheville, I mean, they wiped out that hurricane took out that whole. We went out there out of our own pocket and was giving out food, money, clothing, and we all drove out there in a couple cars and helped. So we've been doing it. We did other work too in the rabbit hole. We bail people out of jail. We just do a lot. I don't want to sound like I'm bragging about nothing.
That's not bragging. Just say what you're doing.
We do a lot. Yeah. We do a lot for the community, and when I say the community, I'm talking about our people, our collective. So when when they talk about building a tribe or another brotherhood or something, I did it already. I built my rabbit. It's thousands of us, and we support each other. We do retreats, spiritual retreats, and we take spiritual medicine and like we build together, we grow together, we cry together, laugh together. We help each other out financially. We win hardships. So I'm already building a tribe. It's called the Hocus 4/5 Rabbit Hole. I turned that into the nonprofit. And I also got a website and app coming. That's the rabbitholeempire.com. And I also got a television show coming. I'm going to stop right there.
Okay. Can't say nothing. Sounds good. Yeah. Roll call. How can someone report something to your roll call?
I'm happy you asked that because, all right, let me talk a little bit about that for a second. Because with the roll calls, I have so many women that hit me up, but I can't get to every roll call because it's a lot. But a lot of my time is about to be freed up so I could do more. But however, some of these women, it's just claims. So I can't roll call just because you tell me somebody put their hands on you. I can't do that. That's just an accusation. Where's the evidence? Where's the proof? You got to have a little evidence for me to move or some proof for me to move and do
Very
it.
good.
I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Because it was one time, you know what? I don't want to talk about this situation. Because it involved children. And I said, I'm not going to talk about it no more. But something happened and I put a roll call out and then I had to, because they didn't even do it.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? But they can, what I'm going to do, I'm going to also set up a Google form like I got for Drop My Flag because it's coming too much.
Right.
But for right now, the roll call 4/5, roll call 45th. That's the Instagram. Hit me in the DM for right now.
I was wondering about that, but I was like, looking at your following, I was trusting your fidelity with it because I'm like, okay, putting stuff up. I'm like, I hope it's back check. I'm like, I'm gonna trust his back check because I go to comments all the time. I don't people say there's no proof he didn't do it, and you know what I mean. So I'm happy that there's some fidelity there. You had to learn the hard way, but
right. I get that sometimes, but for the most part, it's like it don't even have to be 100% fact check. If it looks like, if I'm like, I go with my gut too. But if it's just a mere claim, and you just showing me, like, you know what I mean, a picture of a black eye, I get it. He put his hands. I just need more of the story.
But with the stuff that you're actually seeing with your own eyes, like the dude attacking lady on the train, there's nothing to question there. That's the evidence. So you posting it. Yeah, it's good. It's good. So I definitely look forward to us doing more stuff, and I have a nonprofit as well, and the MAPS program. I would like you to talk to my young boys and girls there, even if through Zoom.
What's the name of it?
MAPS, Making Action Plans for Success. That's the program name, but my organization name is Dream. Okay. So yeah, definitely want to connect you with my guys over there that's running that program.
Let's do it.
Yeah, for sure.
We're also thinking about doing some type of drive right now while things is getting a little rough for the community.
Yeah.
So we're going to discuss that with you also.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But I just want to say thank you for making this happen, giving us your time, and
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
And
keep up the great work.
And we will be following up on the other stuff that you're doing as such a positive force for the community. So you'll be on the show again. For sure. For sure. Yeah.
Yes, let's get it.
I'm Mahagony.
I'm Aisha.
And this is Culture Currency.
For culture
Is the value.
Make sure to like,
Subscribe.
and comment.
Share.